Marcus Richardson checked his watch for the third time in 5 minutes. The quarterly report could wait. Right now, watching his daughter Emma's face light up at the promise of pancakes mattered more than any board meeting. Table for two? The hostess smiled, but Marcus barely noticed. He was already scanning the diner for the quietest corner, away from the clatter and chaos that sometimes overwhelmed Emma. "Corner booth, please," he said, gently guiding his wheelchair-bound daughter forward. At 7 years old, Emma had her mother's dark curls and a stubborn chin. Cerebral palsy had stolen her ability to walk and made eating a careful, patient process, but had never dimmed the brightness in her eyes. "Pancakes, Daddy?" Emma's words came slowly, each syllable a small victory. "The biggest stack they have, Princess." Their waitress appeared moments later, notepad ready. Sarah Chin looked tired, the kind of bone-deep exhaustion that came from working double shifts. Her name tag was slightly crooked, and there was a coffee stain on her apron, but her smile was genuine. "What can I get you folks this morning?" Marcus ordered quickly, already thinking about the emails piling up on his phone. But as Sarah took Emma's order, something shifted. She didn't lean down with exaggerated slowness or raise her voice. She simply crouched to Emma's eye level and waited. "Chocolate, chip, pancakes," Emma managed. "Excellent choice." "That's my favorite too," Sarah said, writing it down with theatrical flair. "With extra chocolate chips?" Emma's giggle was pure joy. Over the next 30 minutes, Marcus found himself watching Sarah more than his phone. She delivered their food with a warmth that felt personal, not professional. When Emma struggled with her fork, Sarah quietly cut her pancakes into smaller pieces without making a show of it. When syrup dribbled down Emma's chin, Sarah handed her a napkin with conspiratorial whisper. "Syrup beards are very fashionable this season." Emma laughed so hard she snorted. "You're good with her," Marcus said when Sarah refilled his coffee. Sarah's smile flickered with something deeper, memory maybe, or loss. "My little brother had muscular dystrophy. I learned patience young." "Had." "He passed away 2 years ago. He was 12. She said it simply, the way people did when grief had been worn smooth by time. "I'm sorry." "Me too. But he taught me that every moment counts, you know? That kindness costs nothing but means everything." After that morning, the corner booth became their Saturday tradition. Week after week, Sarah greeted them like old friends. She learned that Emma loved riddles and always had a new one ready. She discovered that Emma was learning to paint with a mouth-held brush and asked to see photos of her artwork. She celebrated when Emma finished a whole meal without assistance and never showed pity when she couldn't. Marcus found himself arriving earlier, staying later, ordering more coffee than he needed just to have another conversation. Sarah was studying nursing at night, working 3 jobs to pay for it, living in a studio apartment she could barely afford. She wanted to work with children, to give back the kind of care her brother had received. 3 months into their Saturday ritual, Emma had a seizure. One moment she was laughing at Sarah's joke about a confused penguin. The next, she was convulsing. Marcus moved on instinct, supporting her head, timing the episode, his heart hammering against his ribs. But Sarah was already there, calm and capable, clearing the space around them, speaking in soothing tones, helping him turn Emma on her side. When it passed, when Emma lay exhausted in his arms and the ambulance had been waved away, Sarah sat with him until Emma fell asleep, her hand resting lightly on the little girl's arm. "Thank you," Marcus whispered. "You handled it perfectly. You're a good dad." "I'm a terrified dad who happens to have good emergency training." Sarah smiled. "Same thing, really." That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. He kept seeing Sarah's face, not pitying, not patronizing, just present. She saw Emma as a whole person, not a diagnosis. And she saw him too, somehow, past the expensive watch and the carefully maintained composure to the exhausted single father beneath. The next Saturday, Marcus arrived at the diner with an envelope. "I have a proposition," he said after Sarah took their order. "My company has a scholarship program for healthcare students. Full tuition, living stipend, guaranteed job placement after graduation." Sarah froze. "Marcus, I'm on the board. I nominate candidates." You'd still have to apply, still have to qualify, but I can't accept charity. It's not charity. It's investment. You're going to be an incredible nurse, Sarah. I've watched you with Emma. You have the gift, the ability to see people, not conditions. That's rare. That's valuable. He slid the envelope across the table. At least look at the application. Sarah's hands trembled as she picked it up. Why? Because Emma lights up every Saturday morning talking about seeing you. Because you made my daughter feel normal in a world that constantly reminds her she's not. Because people like you should be in medicine, and money shouldn't stop that from happening. Tears spilled down Sarah's cheeks. I don't know what to say. Say you'll apply. She did. She got the scholarship. 2 years later, she graduated top of her class and took a position at a pediatric rehabilitation center, the same one where Emma received therapy. On Emma's 10th birthday, Sarah showed up at their house with a gift, a custom-designed mouth painting kit, and a promise to attend Emma's first art show. You changed our lives, Marcus said, walking Sarah to her car later that evening. Sarah shook her head. You changed mine. You and Emma both. She reminded me why I wanted to do this work, and you gave me the chance to do it. We just opened a door. You did the hard part. Then I guess we make a good team. Marcus smiled. The best. As Sarah drove away, Emma called from the window. Is Sarah coming next Saturday? I think we can arrange that, princess. Because some corner booth conversations changed everything. And some families were built one pancake breakfast at a time.